cactus flowered. Look at that. It's not really coming across in the camera. It's such a beautiful flower. It's so starkly contrast from the plant that it's growing out of. And you wouldn't expect this plant to produce that flower. It's just so bright. In person, it's a lot brighter than it is in the camera. It's like a neon fuchsia. Really pretty. It's the first time. Oh no, it looks like this one has had other flowers on it. But it didn't. This is the first year that it bloomed. What's up, Jindo? Nice to see you. I was just looking at my cactuses out here. Got a lot of them. This one's opening too. They have such cool flowers. They're so like you wouldn't suspect them to grow such a bright flower when you look at a cactus. It's just such a starkly contrast flower. I love these succulents right here. They're really pretty. They're fuzzy. And their flowers are kind of pastel neon. My brain cactus. My unicorn horn. It's all beat up, but it's still kicking it. Barrel cactus. That's a euphorbia. There's a Don Pedro. Tall one. A cactus tree. A prickly pear. Here's our booby cactus. It's got boobies. That's what it's called, a booby cactus. It's kind of beat up too, but it's still kicking it. This is our Tropicana, I think. Is this called a Tropicana? Babe? Is this a Tropicana? Yeah. I couldn't remember if that was a name or not. It has such a beautiful pink flower when it blooms. It's kind of orangish pink, I guess.
They change the colors. Yeah, but it's like a coral, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like an orangey, peachy, pinky kind of color.
We grabbed this plant out of a parking lot and brought it home. And it's been happy ever since. We had it in the shade for a while and it wasn't happy, but then we put it out on the deck and it got happy. It's a really pretty plant. I love it. I like this collection of succulents here. They're cute. Some cactuses are just so mangled. Just like so crazy looking. God's creativity just there's no end to the depth. It just goes for days. There's so many different kinds of plants and insects. This one, those kind of cactuses right there have these things on them called glow kids. Thought that'd be a good name for a band. Glow Kid. The Glow Kids. But those things suck, man. You don't ever want to touch one of those cactuses. You'll be fucked. They're this little, they're like kind of like those stinging nettles. They're like little nettles, but they're just really small and they're little clusters of them. Each spot has like mini glow kids in them, and if you touch one of those cactuses, you'll be pulling those things out of your hand for days. It's not pleasant. You gotta look out for the glow kids. I'm gonna go on a little walk. Actually, Hello.
I got a text. Gigi said she's stuck in traffic.
Oh, really? Shit. So what's going on with y'all today? I'm just gonna walk up the road and back. Out of cigarettes, you gotta go on a smoke run down into the valley. But maybe I'll get some exercise instead of sitting there smoking. It's funny, it seems like I go on YouTube nowadays and there's nothing that I want to watch on. It's like my habits that I have aren't fulfilling anymore. Like, I think God is sending a message to me, like, break out of your routine. Do something different. Shake it off. We become our habits, you know? It's like, you think you need all this stuff that you don't really need. Our bodies, become dependent on things, and whatever you put in your body is gonna cause chemical reactions, and your body adjusts to whatever you're consuming. When you take that one thing out of the mix, now your body's like, oh fuck, now we got to readjust because this one ingredient you were putting in here every day isn't being put in here. And we had our system all wired this way now because this new ingredient was here all the time. Now it's not here anymore. We got to go back to how it was before, and it's going to take a minute. You're going to feel like shit. You're going to be in a lousy mood. You're not going to want to do anything. But hold on. We're working on it. You might feel like you're dying, but you probably won't. I've done a lot of drugs over my life, more so than the average person probably. So I know a lot about this. And it's interesting how the whole idea of doing drugs in the first place was to change your mood. Sort of like put a spin on things, make it more fun. Make being alive and awake more fun. But then if you get habits, sorry about all the noise. There's always like a million saws going in my neighborhood. I guess it's what living in the mountains is all about. You come up to the woods, you gotta cut down the woods. But it's weird when you start doing a lot of drugs and you're not necessarily doing it to put a twist on things anymore. You're not like experiencing this fun buzz. It's like, wow, this is fun. This is cool. Wow. It's more like you're just doing the drugs so you can feel normal, which was how you used to feel before you did any drugs. Because if you don't do those drugs now, you feel like a piece of shit. You don't feel normal at all. You feel like you're dying. Depends what kind of drugs we're talking about. But to some degree, every drug is like that. If you've been consuming it for a long time daily, your body has to adjust. when you pull it out of the equation and you feel like shit. And it's all connected with your headspace, your mood, you know. If you don't feel good, you're going to be in a lousy mood. But some of these drugs, most of these drugs are like psychoactive in the way that like affects your mood. It's what was the whole point of it? Was to put a spin on your consciousness. And so it'd be one thing if you just felt like shit, but not only do you feel like shit, you're depressed. And you feel like you need something and you can't get it. You're trying to talk yourself out of doing more or whatever, you know, you're trying to quit doing something that's really difficult. But it's about your mood. If you're determined to stop doing a drug, which in my life, I've been in both situations where I didn't want to stop doing it and I had to. And that's called going to jail. But like you realize when in that experience that it wasn't the end. You came back to normal and it was all right. You get caught in the moment thinking, oh, this is like, fuck, I'm gonna die. That's how opiates are. I mean, it's like, it's a real terrible thing. But it's an amazing drug nonetheless. However, it's deadly. But tobacco can be kind of, I think they put a lot of stuff in tobacco that's also, like, you know, cigarettes that we smoke. You can go through like these withdrawal symptoms. It's pretty wild. But I noticed how tobacco is similar to heroin in that way, where it's like you go through these stages where you're like looking for like cigarette butts. And then there's no more cigarette butts and you're like, okay, let's get some money together here. It's pathetic. It's totally like this distraction, like this fleeting, like what is the point? What is the point, really? Like, there's more to life than this moment you're trying to enjoy, you know? Like, it's difficult to like get your mind around that sometimes. And just like, I think that's what the problem is a lot of times. Is like, if you don't have like something to do, if you're not like busy like trying to take care of things and do stuff, like if you got a lot of time on your hands, well, it's a lot easier to fall into addictive habits. Discipline. I'm grounding myself right now. I'm walking on the dirt barefoot. The earth will absorb as much energy, electricity, whatever you put into it. It's the ground. It grounds you. You got some bent up energy inside you, well, go walk barefoot outside. Now they say we receive stuff from the earth too when we go barefoot. But to me it makes more sense that we're like releasing energy into the earth, but it could be an exchange going on. I'm sure there's some science going on there. I mean, when you think about it, the earth is busy absorbing energy all day long. That's what it does. And what does it do with it? I mean, there's no amount that it can't absorb. Ooh, those are sharp oak leaves. Ow, that hurts. But I'd rather walk on sharp oak leaves than asphalt. I'm hardcore, man. You guys don't even know. You don't even know, bruh. You get stuck in the past trying to make a moment last with your head up your ass. The future never comes when you're stuck in the past. The future came and went. That was it. Turns out the future never really is there. Because the word future doesn't mean right now, it means later. But when later comes, it's still right now. It's not that I don't believe in a future, I just think it's a funny thing to think about because, well, we're busy making that future. People that talk about how the Bible says this and this is going to happen, look, it's happening. It's like, well, yeah, probably because the Bible said it would. We we create our fucking reality. We prophesize, we say what we think is going to happen, and then it happens, and we're like, wow. But I mean, we're just making predictions based on what we're looking at, judging human nature. If you've been alive long enough, you see how it goes. You see the deceptions taking place, and you see people waking up to it, and the ebb and flow, the yin, the yang. People are like, we're in Satan's little season. I'm like, what makes you think it's little? I personally don't like the thought of like, this is Satan rules this world. I guess, if that's maybe in your reality. I won't make a claim like that because I like to go beyond Satan. I go like, well, there's above all that, there's God, It's like, you got to think about this shit, man. It's like fucking, it turns out Slugworth was working for fucking Willy Wonka the whole time. Or whatever his name was. The bad guy that wanted to buy the candy recipe or whatever. So it's like, in that context, Willy Wonka is God. And the Slugworth or whatever his name was, he's the devil. He's the bad guy. But God employed him to go test the kids. You wanted to go see who had a heart of gold. So ultimately, God runs the show. But he has Satan working for him. He's trying to flush you out. He's trying to find the bad ones and find the good ones. Try to teach you a lesson. Mankind. Human. Just a hue of a man, just a shade shy of a real guy. The shadow of the man that he used to be before he became so damn shady. Look at you, man. Who are you? Just another human being, just another stupid human being, stupid human being, stupid human being, stupid human being, stupid. Hey! Who are you, man? Just another hue of a man, just a shade shy from a real guy. I was looking at my boy down there. He was looking at me like I'm a freak. I am a freak. Better than being a normie. I'm a normie. Normal people are weird in my opinion. Anything can be normalized. Doesn't mean that it's better. So, mankind. I think originally we were meant to be kind. That was the implication. Well, what set us off that course? How did we just become humans, just a shade shy of a man who's kind? Well, some say the forbidden fruit could have been just consuming meat, because you get a taste for blood. I want some more of that blood. It's good. Oh, I like some blood. I want to eat some of that flesh. You're just like, I want to go cook me a hamburger. I like my chuck ground, not in the ground. I don't want my chuck buried. I don't want my chuck buried. But don't get me wrong, I'm a psychopathic meat eater. Well, I don't think I'm psychopathic, but I guess you could make the argument that taking an animal's life so you can devour it, it's kind of psychopathic. Whether you're connected directly with that act or not, some part of you is aware of it. And I'd imagine that if we hadn't gone down that road, if we just stuck with eating the fruit and veggies and roots, it's not the same mentality. That thought never crossed your mind, like I had to take an animal's life, an animal that I would look in its eyes and see sentience, and then kill it and eat it. That thought isn't ever crossing your consciousness. You never had to find ways to cope with that, or spend a lifetime of being indoctrinated into thinking that's okay. It never took place in your consciousness. It wasn't something that ever occurred to you. It didn't put a burden on your mentality at all, because it was never there. I have something else I can say about this, but it might make me cry. But I'll try to get it out. Like I said, I'm a meat eater. I'm not preaching, whatever. Just talking. There was a point in time, I have a 9-year-old boy. When he was growing up, when he was a little wee lad, I was getting him to try different food, and I gave him some meat. And I had to explain to him what meat was. And I saw the look in his eyes, and it broke me. Because I realized what I was doing. It had such a profound effect on my psyche. I'm trying not to cry right now, sorry. I get past this guy with his blower here. Hey. There's certain things that happen that are just so intense, and you see the truth right away. Can't hide from it. And you have to try to cope, like do certain things or whatever. Say certain things you think are going to make it better, explain it away. But you'll know if it sticks with you, like this experience that I was explaining did, that there's something there, something that you should pay attention to. I mean, it's thoughts like that that keep me up, It might seem stupid, but it's like when you see the look in your innocent child's eyes, you're eating an animal that was killed. When they're busy watching cartoons, oh, look at the chicken walk, doo-doo-doo. And they have to put it together in their mind, like, I'm eating a dead, why would you give me this? The look in their eyes is kind of like, they go from like being shocked to just trusting you. They always trusted you, but you're putting them in a situation now where they're forced to like come to terms with something they'd never considered. They're looking at you like, Dad, that isn't okay. You're like, no, it's okay. That's what we do. So I think man was eventually bound to be corrupted. We just want to know more, try new things, push the envelope. We're innocent, really, in the sense that we're just put into this realm. We know what's right, we know what's wrong. But there's a lot of gray areas there. And you kind of find yourself backsliding into something that you know is wrong. But this isn't just happening for, it's not just an accident this all happened, this whole life thing. It wasn't just a matter of science happening. There's purpose. Otherwise, we wouldn't have those moments where we're like having to cope, seeing truth that is just like, it's so present, you can't shake it. Why would that be an inherent feeling that we have? Why is that something that, we're meant to be kind? That's why. I think genetics have a lot to do with it. When you think about it, like your child is a piece of you and someone else. So whatever was in you, there's a slice of that in them. So if you're a decent person, with a good heart, who knows right from wrong, who's been confronted with the evils of the world and eventually came around to do the right thing, however long it might have taken, or maybe it was right away, whatever. But there are some people that were just prone to go the opposite direction, from away from kind. Maybe it's it's a way to cope. You think, oh, I'm already fucking ruined. I'm just gonna go for broke now. Fuck it. Let's see what this darkness has to offer, Let's just go all the way in. There's nothing too dark for me. I'm gonna go full bore. People will fear me. Then you end up with like Vlad the Impaler or something. But he was actually loved by his community. I'm getting ballsy right now. I'm walking through sticker bushes barefoot. This is crazy. What's wrong with me? I must be crazy. I think the reason I'm still walking is because I know once I stop walking, I'm going to be like, oh, time for a cigarette. Oh, I don't have any. Keep walking. So you can imagine if an evil person who's just gone down the road of evil, they gave up on being good, felt that it was just stupid, that it didn't benefit anybody to be good. When people were good, they just got walked all over and pissed on, left to die. What point is it to be good? Where did it get you? So they go down the road of being the opposite of good, deceitful, dishonest, only caring about oneself, not caring about truth or anybody else's life. Well, if that person were to have a kid, chances are that kid would be put into an environment that's not suitable for a good person to grow up in. whether they turned good because of it or just became evil like their parent. I guess it's just a luck of the draw. I don't know. My girlfriend was born into a family of narcissists. I think that's a fact. I've seen it. And she realized this while we've been together. We've been together for about over 3 years. We met on YouTube. She was someone who left a comment in a call for an uprising video. Brittany, California. It was during the days of COVID. I felt pretty isolated from the world at that point in time. I don't know if I can get through here. It looks impassable, but I'm gonna try to pass. This is a challenge. I have to get all the way on my stomach to shimmy through these pieces of wood here. This is wild. Oh, I did it. Let's get through yet. Mind you, I'm barefoot. See? Nothing is impassable for me. I'm a mountain boy at heart. So, she left a comment saying, all my friends are wearing masks and being retarded people. Whatever. This sucks, you know? She's like, I don't have any friends. And I live in California. So I saw this cute blonde girl named Brittany, California, making a comment that I could relate with. So I was like, me too. I live in California too. Where are you at? And she said, I'm in Monterey. I'm like, well, I'm like an hour away from where I live. Cool, you ever come to Santa Cruz? She's like, no. I'm like, all right. Okay. And then, but she subbed to my channel. And she would leave kind of sweet comments in my videos. One day, I made a video that I thought was funny. I thought my delivery of the joke was funny. I just thought it was funny. I liked it. I'm like, this is a pretty good video I made here. I'm like, did you know that COVID can cause blindness now? Yeah. Yeah, because you get your head so far up your ass, you can't see anything. And that was the joke. And she left a comment in that video saying, sir, I think I have a crush on you. I'm like, oh, well, that's awfully cute. I'm glad I made you laugh or something, you know. But then it was kind of anticlimactic because you know, how do you like really like hit on somebody on YouTube? So a lot of time goes by. You know, we exchange comments here and there. Eventually my channel got deleted by YouTube. So you have to start all over. You have to get all your subs back, all the people you were subbed to back, and, you know, start all over. It's not like whatever. It sucks because I had a lot of cool videos that I liked. But, so eventually I was trying to find all the people I was subbed to before, and I remembered Brittany, California. I'm like, I'm gonna go find her. And I found her channel and subbed her. I was thinking maybe she would see that I subbed and sub back to me. But they don't let you know who subs to you most of the time. And she didn't notice that I subbed to her. So months go by, and it wasn't like something that was present in my mind or anything. But like one day she pops up in a comment section somewhere and she says, there you are, where'd you go? Did your channel get deleted or whatever? I'm like, oh yeah, hey, there you are. What's up? It was like, I think it was on what's that dude's channel? Days of Noah. It was in one of his comment sections. I left a comment and she saw me there. And so then we sort of reconnected and started talking again, and she was popping up in my videos, leaving comments again. It's like a year later, you know. And one day I was like, you know, I hadn't had a girlfriend in a long time, ever since I'd gone down the road of like being a flat earther and crazy truther guy. There was a couple of love interests that were that never really went anywhere. I just never really felt that into it. And when I'd bring up stuff that we talk about here on this channel, you know, they'd sort of like either like sort of patronize me or like kind of roll their eyes or whatever. You know, I wasn't feeling it. I can't be with somebody that doesn't want to take me seriously or just, you know, even if they don't think what I'm saying is right or whatever, they could just, you know, stand there. Right. You don't have to like patronize. You don't have to like pretend that you like it or something, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to be with somebody that you can relate to, that understands you and shit. But so I went to Brittany, California's channel one day, just on a whim, and she had posted videos because she'd never had any videos up. She was pretty like mysterious as far as I was concerned. But every time she said something, it was charming. I thought she had a good wit to her. And so she has a video or two posted up on her channel, and one of them is just like it's like titled "Bike Ride Day" or something. And she's just standing there looking all cute in the camera and showing footage of the ocean. But it's just a short video. There's no words spoken or nothing. I'm just like, I had a feeling you were pretty cute. Left some flirtatious comment, you know. But she's just being kind of shy and stuff. And I was trying to hit on her at this point, you know, because I saw how pretty she was. I was like, damn, she's pretty cute. And so one day I go to her channel because I wasn't really having much success with this whole like trying to hit on her through like comments on YouTube. I was feeling pretty stupid. And I saw that she had her email on her YouTube page. It just said, email me. And so I did. And I think I left an email. She said that I wrote the most perfect email. I was like, hey, it's me. My name's Forrest. I just responding on your email I saw on YouTube. I'm over here in Santa Cruz. You know, if you ever want to hang out or have a buddy to shoot the shit with, you know. Like, I was like, I saw that you have a bike you like to ride. I just got an electric bike. You ever want to go on a bike ride or something, let me know. If this is weird or whatever, you can just disregard this email. I'm not trying to be weird. Just figured I'd drop you a line. And then I signed it at the bottom, Dr. Bas Ackwards, so she knew who the fuck she was talking to. She said she read the email. She was like, who's this Forrest guy? But she responded all like totally stoked to hear from me. And it turns out that she tells me now, but I believe her now, but at first I didn't believe her. The whole reason she had left the email on her YouTube was for me to see it, and so I could email her. It was like this cat and mouse game, you know. But we went on a bike ride, you know, and we didn't like hook up right away, but she texted me after the bike ride. She's like, so what did you think? Like, what? So what? Are you going to be my boyfriend? She didn't say that, but that's what she was saying. And I was like, yeah, well, you're just too good to be true, aren't you? So we hooked up, and we've been together for like 3 years. Her family wasn't too hip on it, but her family just isn't too hip on much she does anyways. Which she does, everything she does is just awesome. She's just an angel. She's so sweet. She's got a heart of gold. She's a great cook. She likes to clean and have a nice tidy house, and she's just perfectly domesticated and the sweetest little thing. She's got a crazy past, so do I. But like, the bottom line is she's a sweet girl, and her parents just didn't appreciate her. She'd do so much for her family, and they never really gave her any praise at all. And it turns out that's how it's been her whole life. And the story she tells me about her family growing up, it's just like, God, I can't believe someone would treat a little girl like that. How in the fuck? So I eventually grew to not like her parents. And there was sort of a rift between me and her at one point because of that. Well, it was because their parents were like getting in her head and meddling with her mind, and like making her feel like she was stupid for having this relationship with me because we lived together. But eventually she ended up confronting her parents, and the way they treated her was just, well, it's the way a narcissist treats somebody. They treat you like you're crazy. Nothing you say makes any sense, has any validity. You better just figure out that you're wrong and start kissing my ass, or, that's the only option, basically. You better not leave because I'm feeding off of you. So she left and hasn't spoken with them since. It's been almost a year now. They spiraled. They've stopped by our house twice. They live all the way out in Monterey. It's an hour drive. They're just like, they don't know what to do about it. And she sees them. They're like, what's going on? And she's like, I just don't want to talk to you guys. Oh. Well, that's disrespectful. Then they leave, But it's like she made her case, they just chose to not listen to her or take her seriously. And the bottom line is, you raise a kid without love, well, you can't expect him to love you. I mean, you gotta, if you don't have love, you don't get love. You gotta give it to get it. But that's not the reason you're giving it. So my point being, even if you're a dark person or you're two dark people and you have a kid, you have two kids, one of those kids might end up being the heart of gold, Nature finds a way. It's interesting though, because her brother is a total narcissist who doesn't understand love. There's no love in her family. It's just like, it's just not there. And she's just bubbling over with love. It's such a weird, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just seems like, given the circumstances, you wouldn't expect that, it's God shining through. Like, here's two people that had no love, that just, whatever trauma they had suffered, it broke them. Maybe they never got love either, who knows? But like the point is, they didn't learn it. They didn't, people would have looked at them and been like, well, they're not going to have, nothing good's going to come out of the two of them. Yet, something fabulous came out of the two of them. They didn't realize it. They don't know. They totally missed it. But it worked out good for me. All right, I'm almost back home here. So, about meat being the forbidden fruit. Maybe that's when we stopped being mankind. I find it difficult to be kind while murdering an animal. I've, if I had to go without store-bought food for the rest of my life, I would fish. I would eat fish. I've done that. I know I can do it. And I love fish. That's like my favorite meat. I think fish have feelings too. I still would feel bad about it. I guess, I don't know. Are there people that just don't feel bad? Like, how do you have a job where you're like slaughtering animals? Like, how do you do it? I just don't. It's something I'll never understand. I don't think it's something I want to understand. And I do realize it's slightly hypocritical of me. It's the meat, or it's just not even slightly. It's just hypocritical. But I still take on the burden of that deed to some extent. What are you guys doing? Yeah, family scapegoat, totally. He's gonna break his monitor. Such an interesting collection of people on YouTube. I love you all, even if you think it's gross. I'm gonna grab some coffee.
Oh yeah, Hendrix aired it out. Let's get that long sentence. It was like no hard drive or something.
Gotta keep moving or I'm gonna want a cigarette. It sucks having a battle with your own mind. It's like, how many people are we? Just two people, one person that knows it's ridiculous, the other person that doesn't give a fuck. I think that's about the size of it, really. It'd be nice if those two people could just fuse together and make like a moderate sort of person who could take it or leave it. And so the search for cigarette butts ensues. I got a $50 bill burning a hole in my pocket. Ow. I got all these stickers in my feet. I'm so hardcore, dude. You guys don't even know. None of you fucking tough guy monitor breaking fucking shit talkers have a clue, dude. You don't even know what I just did. I barged through a fallen tree barefoot in brambles while streaming on YouTube. Y'all are like, oh, what a dork. Flat earth. Dude, you guys don't even know, dude. You don't even know who you're dealing with right now. I'm hardcore, bro. But I'm also a little bitch, too. I'm two people. Such is the life of a Gemini. My girlfriend's a Gemini, too. It's the first time I've ever had a girlfriend, like a steady relationship with a Gemini like this. I've had other girls that I was with that were Geminis, but it wasn't like a serious thing. And I don't know if that's why we get along so well, maybe. People have said that it's a bad combination for two Geminis to be together. But I don't think that's the case. I think there's validity to some of this discussion, with the signs. I mean, everything has meaning. And the time when your spark of life was created and when your birth into this realm was, whenever that all occurred, it's significant. There's a moment in time, it's just that one point. I'm sure it leaves its signature on you to some extent, and we're living in a life of cycles that repeat and repeat and repeat. And there's bigger cycles within the smaller cycles, and bigger cycles within those bigger cycles, and then even bigger cycles within those bigger cycles. And if within the smaller cycles, there's even smaller cycles and smaller and smaller and smaller ones. Circles within one big motherfucking infinity symbol. So wherever you pop up in the whole chain of events, is significant, because the cycles that are repeating, where you landed in that cycle, there's significance in each part of that cycle, and all the other cycles that are occurring within and around it. You can apply whatever kind of meaning to it that you want, but like after studying human nature for thousands of years, you start to see patterns, certain personality types. And when you do, I bet there's some kind of cool algorithms you could do nowadays where you could take, 1,000,000 people at random and give them all a personality test or whatever kind of, and then have an algorithm assort them by their personality types, and then proceed to apply the 12, the equinox, whatever, the 12 the 12 signs, whatever, what are they called, astrological signs, then apply that to the results. So you got 1,000,000 people randomly, and now they all took personality tests and see what their personality types are. Now get them all sorted, by what personality types they all are, and then figure out what their astrological signs are, and see what the crossover data is, like how much of it actually is meaningful, or if it's just dead on. I think you'd find that it's pretty much dead on. It'd be a cool experiment. I just now thought of it. And I probably wouldn't have thought of it if I wasn't sitting here jabbing to you people. What are you guys doing? Hair on song. What are you doing in here all naked like that? Hold on a second here. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. No, I hope I didn't time you out or something. Hold on, I'm trying to give you a wrench. Add as moderator. There we go. Hair on Song is awesome. You guys should go to her channel and sub if you're not already subbed to her, because she's a great musician. She is just a gem. Wonderful singing voice, great lyrics, really talented guitar player. She's a piece of work, man. She's a class act. I mean, you could go on tour with that act right there. Hair on Song. I like it. I think it's great. I feel humbled by having discovered your music. maybe you take it for granted. I sure as hell do. With my stuff, I don't think it's great. I do it because I love it. I have fun with it, but I just think it sucks, though, pretty much. Some of my songs I like, though. I mean, I think that are pretty decent songs, but I don't expect any of it to be like considered great by the majority of people out there. Because I'm just kind of like a wingnut, really. I don't. But even a wingnut can pull some cool shit out. Typically, I enjoy the wingnuts more than the normal nuts. Less predictable.
Dad,
Yeah,
where are my shoesies?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Brittany might.
Then he's in the shower.
Oh, well, I don't know where your shoes are. Did you take them off in our room last night?
No, I didn't even have one.
Well, they're probably upstairs. Maybe in the bathroom when you took a bath. Or that was, yeah, I don't know. That wasn't last night, was it?
Yeah, it was, but I didn't have my shoes
Oh, well, they're probably upstairs.
on.
Anyways, looks like I lost my audience. I don't blame you. All right, I'll be back on later. I'm doing marathon streams this week, trying to get my sub count up.